Okay, so I have a quick little story. Well, hopefully it'll be quick to tell you guys. So I went to this book authors row thing that I was telling you about before, which is the reason why I had to make sure I got my paperbacks of Sweet Camellia Island in time. And so I went to this this author event at the library, which is a nice little thing, but every year they do it different, so we never know what is gonna be. They've been doing this for quite a few years, and every year they seem to do it different. So this time they had us in a little room that was like closed off, not totally closed off, but like separate from the rest of the library, which is bad because then you basically end up talking to other authors and nobody else because the patrons just don't like wander in. So I mostly talked to other authors, which was fine. And I sold 2 books, which is like what I normally sell at these things. Like if I sell 2 books, I figure I did well because and nobody sells more than that really. Few people sell more than 2 books. But here's the funny part. So I'm sitting there, and I actually had quite a few people that did talk to me, like I said, mostly authors. And we talked a lot about self-publishing and about publishing because that's what everyone's concerned about usually. So I was sitting there, and this woman came up to me who I knew sort of like from a parent of my kids, and she had a book and that she hadn't brought with her, but a long story. So we're sitting there talking, and this guy's standing off to the side, and I can't figure out what he's doing. Like, I don't know, is he waiting to talk to me? I think maybe he is, but it's hard like to know to interrupt her. And like, anyway, so he's looking kind of grumpy, and he finally says, "Are you selling those books?" And I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "Well, I'm not going to buy one." I'm like, "Okay." And then he's like, "But I want to promote your book for free." I said, "Yeah, right. Like, who does that? And if you are an author on TikTok, Facebook, any of these places, you know that one of the biggest scams is promoters. Like, they will write to you, say they're going to promote your book. They'll pretend to be other authors. There's all kinds of scams, right? And so I just was like, "Yeah, no, you're not." And I was just like, "Go away, dude. Like, I don't believe a word you're saying." But it turns out he was sort of legit. He's a local guy who had some kind of deal with a different library in the same library system to do a podcast. So, and he's like, "Well, don't you want all this exposure?" I'm thinking, yeah, I've been there, done that, man. I've been on radio shows and locally here. I've had things about my books in the newspaper, local media. I've worked in local media. It's a great thing, but has it sold me books? No, it really hasn't. Like, I don't think so. I don't think it's really sold me books. So I'm not holding my breath for this podcast, but it's kind of a cool thing he's doing. So that was cool, but it was just kind of funny because I really just did not believe what he was saying. I thought he was totally just a scammer. So anyway, that was a fun thing, and I did not take any pictures because I forgot, and my daughter was there. I was going to have her take a picture, and I forgot. So I had nothing to put on TikTok except this little story. So here it is, and maybe I'll tell you some more about the author thing next time, but that was the funniest story I thought from that day. So anyway, get a hold of this book if you feel like it. It's on paperback. Also on Kindle. It's free on Kindle Unlimited. I'll put the link in, so check it out.